Treehouse Club presents the Nerd Corner podcast. I am your host, Ghambit, a.k.a. Drip Lord Moons, a.k.a. Tequila Daddy. I am here, not with Bozo Isaac, because Bozo Isaac decided to just not show up. I don't know why. I have couldn't even tell you. Couldn't even, you know what I mean? I had a hard time getting a hold of him. But I am joined by the ever so talented Mr. Angel Tovar. You know what I mean? Local 831 artist and comic book creator. Very talented. I was very surprised when I was looking through his work. I was just like blown away. I was like, holy shit. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I was like, God damn, man, yo. Shout out to you, my bro.
Thank you.
It's dope to see people from the 831 doing cool things that is, everybody typically is like, okay, Watsonville, a little rough area, so you're like, first thing they go to is like rapper.
Yep.
But you're doing something different, a little more positive, and not to say that you can't be a rapper and be positive, but you know what I mean? I just, something different about drawing and comic books, writing stories. I really, something that I really messed with, man. I love it.
Yeah. I just kind of wanted to, put Watsonville on the map, Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, so you do what? Your style looks a little like anime-esque.
Yeah, it's definitely inspired by anime and traditional comic books. I want to say that anime, I probably drew anime first, like that big eye style.
Goku.
Yeah, Goku for sure.
Dragon Ball Z.
And then I started getting into comics, probably my 20s, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
So your first introduction into animation.
Dragon Ball Z. Yeah.
Oh, it was like Japanese. I was saying it was Japanese animation.
Yeah.
So probably Akira, Dragon Ball Z.
Akira is exactly what wanted me to not draw comics, because I didn't know what to do when I was a kid. I knew I loved drawing, but then I saw Akira. The people were like passing out around the VHS, and were like, dude, you gotta check this out. And back in our day, it was like animation was just like Lion King, Disney.
Yeah, I remember growing up, a lot of kids used to like the really good artists. They were drawing like, Bugs Bunny, Disney cartoons like Lion King and all that stuff.
But that type of animation wasn't. You never heard of it. Like, animation was for kids,
Right.
And seeing Akira, I was like, what?
Ripped in half.
Yeah. Kid,
what's that one with Harajuku with Harajuku where that monster like ripping things apart?
Yeah, man. That's what, like, I was like, whoa. Animation could be like this is for adults and stuff.
Hentai.
Yeah. And so then I saw Akira, and I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. I want to animate. And so that was my mission when I was a kid, is animation.
Have you ever seen like the old heavy metal cartoons?
Yes. Yeah.
That was like the first time that I seen some wild shit like that.
I didn't watch heavy metal till later though.
Oh, okay. I had older cousins who were into like that.
Oh, that's why.
You know what I mean?
No, for me, the kids around our school were like hanging out with VHS rip-offs of anime and stuff like that. And they weren't even dubbed or anything. So I was like, what? I don't know what they're saying, but I was like, what the heck? Not until later. Yeah, until like I was like, what? And then it started showing up on Cartoon Network.
Right.
Yeah. They had like
at nighttime.
Yes, only at nighttime. You had to go like around midnight, I think. They show up, Cowboy Bebop and all that stuff, and that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to do comics or anything like that.
I feel like also I don't know if you remember, MTV has something called Liquid TV.
Oh, Aeon Flux. Yeah.
Kind of like in that same style.
Same kind of anime-ish style, right? Yeah. It was.
That was like the first time I seen some like crazy shit, because that was that was actually very, very like violent.
Yeah, one of the artists there that did Aeon Flux is super nice. His name is Robert Valley. Anytime I had questions, he would always answer them. So shout out to Robert Valley.
Lit. That's dope.
Yeah, he was really cool. He has that same like kind of Aeon Flux style But he's not the key animator, but his style is still like because he worked there.
Same vein,
same exact style. Yeah. But like I was saying, like animation was what I wanted to do. But then 2D art was kind of thrown away by Pixar because Pixar came out, Toy Story, and then you're like, I remember I was gonna go to Art Institute, and they were kind of telling me like 2D art is kind of dead, you know. So I was like, damn, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna still go for it? It wasn't until I was 21 that I went to San Jose. They had a comic convention, and I'd never been to one. It was called SuperCon at the time, and Jim Lee, the artist, he was there. Have you heard of him?
No, I'm not too familiar with anime. I'm like a Star Wars.
No, he's not. He's a comic book, like traditional, like Batman. Like,
oh, really?
He made Batman look legit.
Was he one of the ones when they started doing all the?
He started
like when
Image. Have you heard of Image? Like Spawn, like artists.
Yeah.
Now The Walking Dead's on there, but he was on there. He's like a big shot. I think he's managing DC now. That's how far he's come across. But at the time, he was just an artist, and I met him 2007, and he was super nice. And I remember he had his portfolio, so you could see his artwork. And I was like, what? You could draw this? Like, I mean, obviously, you pick up a comic, you read it, you take it for granted, and then you look at the original art, and you're like, oh my God, that's what I want to do. You know?
I remember looking at when they released the Marvel Masterpiece cards. Remember that?
Yes, yeah.
It was like the comic books had a certain style.
Trading cards were like big back then, no?
Yeah,
right,
bro. Like they released the Marvel Masterpiece cards, and it was like you get to see these dope, detailed pictures drawn by of like Ghambit and Sabretooth and Wolverine, and you're like, ooh, these are. I remember I had the Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah.
Like,
if you pull up Jim Lee, you'll see his art, and you'll be like, holy, that's exactly what you're looking for. Like Todd McFarlane. I remember all those cards.
I remember Todd McFarlane's like.
I met Todd McFarlane too, and he was super nice as well. Like
his
all those
toys
guys,
are legendary.
Yeah. And he started his company because he thought like toys weren't that great back then, and they weren't, and he's still killing it to this day. I remember like at Suncoast, that's the only spot. Jim Lee. Yep. There you go. Right. Art. There you go. Yeah, so I remember seeing his portfolio back then, and I was like, "Oh shit,
man, that's great."
Yeah, he's insane.
The Joker's crazy.
He doesn't draw as much anymore because he's pretty much running DC Comics right now. But he's still, I mean, he's a big inspiration to everyone. He used to work at Marvel back then, so now he's with DC.
He did the Wolverine comics. Bro, that's like
that style. He created that style. You know, they call it the '90s style because it was. That's
what led to the Sabretooth. I had that Sabretooth with the two teeth and the Sabretooth. It was like die cut, and you could see inside the comic, and it was
damn.
It was at watch.
If you still have that probably would be worth a lot.
I have it somewhere, probably not.
Oh.
I had the Ghambit, this one. 270, holy shit. That's
what I'm saying.
What the fuck? I definitely had two of those.
Yeah. And were they all like foil?
No, it was red. It was just red. Yeah, red, regular. Okay. And then it's just die cut on the two teeth.
Yeah.
And you could see the first page. And then this led to a magazine. The part two was all the Marvel Masterpiece pictures. You know what I'm saying? And it was fucking sick. It was sick. This was like it was a great comic book series. And the Wolverine comic, it led to that. Like the last episode of the Wolverine was Sabretooth and him fighting, and that led to this.
Yeah. So actually, have they made Sabretooth into the movies? Has he been into the movies?
Yeah, not
that style though, right? I don't remember him
looking like that.
Yeah.
No, he probably will now. Not that they're adapting it because they're doing the whole relaunch of '97 X-Men. They're going to continue that story, and that all involves him, and it all involves Cable, it involves Magneto with the Centennials, like.
Oh yeah, like the classic of the '90s X-Men. No, the animation.
Yeah, they're relaunching X-Men 97.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah.
They're relaunching that cartoon and continuing it.
Yeah. Dude, that was such a classic intro.
It was, man. That
even that animation
song,
still looked pretty good.
Yeah, that song, man. And the first episode with Jubilee.
Yeah. I mean, like those stories kind of made the movies, what they are now. So it's pretty crazy. But yeah, like I said, I met Jim Lee, and
you met him.
Yeah, I met him, and like I said, artists don't really do this anymore. But they had their portfolio, so you can look at their art, original art, and you could see the whiteout that he used and his pencil strokes, and I was like, whoa, what? You could do that? So that's when I'm like, I want to do this. Like this is what I want to do. So that was at age 21. That was in 2007. And so I did that for a few years. I went to every convention, asking for feedback and what do they think. And I think it wasn't until I was 28. So it took a while. Yeah. So it wasn't overnight. So I was 28.
I mean, like anything great isn't overnight.
No. So
a lot of consistency.
Yeah, and I see a lot of artists on Reddit, kind of like getting frustrated and saying, hey, how come it doesn't happen to me and all that? And I've been there. It just takes a long time, dude. And so it wasn't like until I was 28, and that's when I landed my first gig at Aspen Comics. There's this artist named Michael Turner, who was insane as well. I think he might be better than Jim Lee sometimes. But he passed away in 2008, and I remember looking at his art, and I'm like, I want to work for his company. But unfortunately, like I said, he passed away in 2008. But I still got to work for his company when I was 28, and they gave me my first shot, and I did some interiors. I did some comics, for a title called Bubblegum, or Bubble Gun, and it was kind of like cyber, kind of Blade Runner-ish, kind of
cyberpunk.
Yeah. It was very cyberpunk, and that's when I started drawing my first interiors, and then I did some there's some interiors for this series called Aspen, and I did that as well. And then I kind of just, I don't know, around that time COVID hit, and I kind of just did my own thing, and I taught myself how to write and stuff like that. And then that's how Webtoon picked me up. So I started doing that.
You taught yourself how to the story part of it.
Yeah, because it was pretty hard, man. I remember talking to writers in the comic book industry, and they suggested books like, hey, read this, How to Save the Cat, by Blake Snyder. He's like, read a story by Robert McKee, and I read all those books. I still have more at the house that I still want to read, and so, but that gave me a good understanding of movies and stories and stuff like that. So I wrote my first one for practice. I didn't think anything of it, and then Webtoon hit me up, and then they wanted to pick up my series and all that stuff. So.
Before we go into like what Webtoon is and all that stuff, let me ask you this. We're in an age right now, like we just went through a big Hollywood writers' strike.
Oh yeah.
Where it held back a lot of projects. There was a lot of stuff that wasn't released, like Deadpool, the next Deadpool movie.
That's postponed again, no?
All that got postponed because of the writers' strike.
And now the actors' strike, so that's gonna even.
Well, the actors' strike, because SAG has a deal with the American Writers Association or whatever it's called. They got a deal that if the writers can't reach a deal, or if the actors can't reach a deal, the other one got to go on strike too to make them.
Oh, no way. Oh, I didn't know that.
So that's what they only the actors only went on strike because of that.
Yeah. Okay, to help out the writers or
right. So that's why.
That makes sense.
And also, like, a big part of it has to do with the idea of AI. We got this whole era now where,
AI,
I'll go on to Chat GPT. I just full disclosure, I go into Chat GPT and I like, if I'm oh man, hold up, my bad, I didn't mean to do that. I go into Chat GPT, and when I go into Chat GPT, I'm able to write titles. I'll be like, give me a YouTube title for a video about Trump doing this and da-da-da, and then it'll be like, breaking news, Trump, da-da-da-da.
Yeah, Chad, yeah.
You know what I mean? But it works. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then they got the new, because that's 3.5, and now they got the Chat 4.0.
Yeah.
So as a writer, you took the time to become a, you know what I mean, like work on your writing skill, hone in your skills, probably read a couple things. So how do you feel? Do you think that AI is going to be putting writers and illustrators out of a job?
Illustrator on both, yes and no. So I tried ChatGPT to see how it works. I haven't tried for really that much. I tried it out for titles, and it was kind of like miss. I tried 3.5, and it was very like, I asked it to, okay, can you write this or whatever in Quentin Tarantino or style or whatever, and it was pretty bad. I don't know. Maybe in the future, but right now I feel like it's missing soul. It's missing that inspiration, right? Like there's a scene in my webtoon where our main character catches his ex kissing somebody else in front of him, and the way I drew that was like it felt like the Aztecs kind of like cut his stomach open and took out his heart. Ooh. Right? Because that's how it felt to me. Like when I felt through that. Oh, but ChatGPT can't write that because he never experienced that, right? Yeah. So in a sense, it's good at coming up with titles. I think it's even probably good. Like, hey, ChatGPT, let's say if I write something and I ask it, but make it into a old English accent, you know, it'll be good at that. But creating something from scratch, I don't think it's that good. And then with AI art, I think that might be able to take out a few artists' jobs, like at Blizzard and stuff like that. Yeah. Unfortunately, for concept art.
For concept art.
Comic books and all that. No, I don't think it'll be able to do that because there's so many angles that you could choose from. That maybe in the future, but right now it's
not gonna know what's gonna capture the characters.
Yeah. Like I said, it's good for concept art. You know, like if you're using it to like, hey, draw something.
Storyboard.
For storyboarding, maybe. But like something like draw me a princess, you know, with like horns or whatever, and it'll shoot you different ones, which is good. But for a comic book or anything like that, I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's still a ways, but then again, technology is moving so fast, dude, that it could be.
I mean, look, like you got a whole publishing deal with the digital comic book
platform.
Company.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So tell us a little bit about webtoons. Like, what is webtoons? What?
Okay, so webtoons is kind of like it's a comic book for your phone that you could scroll up instead of reading page per page. Mm-hmm. So you scroll as you're reading. So it's good if you want to like hold a shocking panel or something. It's good because you're just scrolling up and scrolling, and you could add music too. So like if I want to add like some suspenseful music as they're scrolling, dope. They'll hit. Like I have this heist, and I asked this band Magic Sword to like if I could use their music for it. And as they're hitting the heist scene and everything, the music starts dropping and the train is moving and then the beat is going. And that's something you can't really do with traditional comics.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
That'd be sick though. Imagine that. Like, you know, those birthday cards you open
it. There's like 3D pop-up and stuff like that. You change. Yeah. But either way, even if you if you turn the page, you're kind of looking at the other page, right? When you open it, you're looking at everything, right. So you're kind of already you're seeing it ahead before you read it.
You got to give them the what is each box called? A scene?
A panel.
You get each panel per panel.
Yeah. So for webtoon, there's so many different styles. Like you could scroll, and usually they're not even panels. It kind of just fades into it. I don't know if you want to take a look.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of your art. What is your published comic called?
The Eagle and the Snake.
Eagle and the Snake. This is me looking for. That's me looking, putting in Indeed.
So that's the front page.
This is the front page for webtoons. So there's a plethora of published artists on here that got deals with webtoons.
Well, yeah. So there's a section where the top section is usually for like they call them originals. So that means webtoon. They want to work with you, and you kind of sign a contract with them. But if you scroll down in the bottom, I'll show you where. Keep going. Right there, Canvas. That Canvas section, that's for anyone who wants to upload. So think about YouTube. Anybody could upload their stuff. Yeah, and that's how I did it. I was just practicing. I'm like, let me just upload here. And then there's editors that look at their stuff. and if they're good, they'll offer you a deal, and that's how it worked out for me. So it's not like you could apply to Webtoons. They got to look at your stuff.
You got to get scouted.
Yeah, you got to get scouted. It's hard. It's hard, but I mean, if you're good, they'll see that passion that you have, and they'll offer you a deal and stuff.
That's dope. That's man. And is it like sustainable? Like I could just do this for a living? Is that type of money?
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to you, man.
But there's an asterisk because it's contract based. So I with mine it's only they call it a season. My contract was only for 1 season, and if you do good enough, your story's good enough, you'll get 2, and if you need to, 3 and 4 and 5, etc. Mine was only 2, so then I finished it up in 2. I would have liked the 3rd one because as I started getting into the story and the rhythm, I'm like, man, maybe I could do 3, but it worked out with 2 anyways.
How hard is it to? Because I love doing this. I love coming on. I love potting.
Yeah.
There's some days where I'm like, I don't know, like I don't feel it. Like, isn't there days where you're like, man, I'm not inspired to write today. Even when I do my paintings, there's days where I'm like, man, I don't even feel like painting today.
Yeah. Well, that's what separates a pro from an amateur, right? You have deadlines and you have to meet those deadlines. That's what separates you from just an amateur to a pro. And if Webtoon sees you hitting your deadlines, then they'll for sure give you almost like a guarantee that you'll get another season. But if you're lagging on your deadlines, then that means they got to postpone your Webtoons, and then you're costing them money. You know what I mean? So that's also on Canvas, that section where anybody could post. If they see you posting every week or every month, they know, okay, this person, can keep a deadline and it's committed, But if you're posting once a month or whatever, they'll probably look at you and go, well, we'll see, Which I kind of did on and off. I did like, I don't think they noticed me until 3 years into it, dude.
Damn, so you were posting up content for 3 years.
For 3 years. Yeah. So
and what was like hella people like? Were you getting a lot of hits on your art? Is that how?
So I was stuck at like 300 viewers or they call them subscribers for like maybe 2 years, and they didn't notice me. So until the 3rd one, so you see right there where it says Webtoon Canvas on the front. Those are the editors that read those comics, and then they put them in the front page.
Oh, these are like, these are some guys that we like.
That the editors like. They're like,
the editor's choice.
Put them in the front page. Yeah. And then if they put you on the front page, you get more views, obviously, because it's easy for you to click.
Yeah.
And then from there, I remember they put me on the front page, and then I got like thousands of subscribers just from the front page. I remember I was stuck at 300 forever. And then all of a sudden, boom, thousands. And then I started doing that again for another year. And then they finally hit me up. Hey, did you want to go to originals?
Woo!
Yeah. And so. Yeah. And then, So, and then you kind of start all over.
Let's check some of your art out, man. So this is the Eagle and the Snake by Angel Tovar right here.
Did you want to hear the music one? The one that I added music?
Yeah. We could actually listen to that.
I'll tell you which episode. I think keep going down. Next page. Go to page 2. Oh, no. No, go back. Or no, go down. Maybe it is. I forgot. No, go page 1. And go down. Page 3 maybe? You'll see them with the... Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm thinking... They'll have a sign right there with... Yeah. Go ahead and click on that. And then on the right corner, on the right top corner... Oh, it's letting you know that's mature. So just click yes. And then... Oh, what? They want you to sign up. Just go back. I think you should still be able to read it without an account.
Maybe because it's
Oh, mature, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not gonna let you read it. Well, you want to block it so no one sees it?
Yeah, it doesn't show my pen. If I remember. Don't like logging into X because X, I follow Adam22 and Adam22 posts porn sometimes. Did it not post?
I'm not sure.
Oh, you know why?
And this is brand new too, by the way. Mature. This wasn't like a thing before.
I mean, that just means that y'all getting a lot of clicks, and it's leading.
No, if anything, it's probably costing me clicks, to be honest, because anybody was able to click it and check it out. Now you gotta set up an account, which is crazy. I mean, it's good for like I don't want anybody that's not supposed to reading it to read it.
Always like change my password. I'll forget them. Password.
Oh, gotcha.
Hold on. I know. God, bro. Here we go.
I would just guess. Okay.
Oh man, I'm 40, man.
While you're doing that, I got some questions that people ask me, and see if I could answer.
People, in the we got our mod in the chat. Shout out Rice, and we got a boy in the chat. Dope show. Chat GPT. It's programmed to be politically correct. That is true. It is.
Oh, you gotta verify.
I swear I hate this. I swear I hate this. I swear I just did the freaking password. So you have people in your Discord or
Yeah. Let me ask me some questions here. If not, it's all good. It's all good. So Cooper Cruiser asked, "What was your inspiration for the mask designs?" There's this old 70s movie it's a kung fu movie called the Five Deadly Venoms, and the masks are pretty much rip off, if you want to say that, of their design, pretty much. And which has been the most complex to draw? It might be Jaguar's mask. That might be his the painful one to draw, or Coyotes, because the Coyotes always look like a fox. So that's what. And then let's see. Favorite character. Who's this?
Dude, do you guys realize how annoying this is? I just changed my password.
There you go, Webtoon. Fix that up.
Like, that's crazy. This is crazy obnoxious.
You want me to log in? Because I'll log in. I'll just log off after. Just put it like a screen over it, and I'll log in.
I mean, it doesn't show your password at all. Man, this is frustrating.
That's what I'm saying.
Just changed my password. I literally just changed my password. Want to just log in?
Yeah. Put something over for me, yeah? Just in case.
Over...
Like a preview? Or no?
Here, what I'll do is I'll kill this.
All right.
This is frustrating. I changed my password. I put in my password, then I changed it, and then I put that password in, and it didn't work. This is crazy. I hate that. And then when you change your password, and then it says you can't have your previous password, it's like, that's what I just put in like 20 times. And it's gonna want you to do that. It's gonna want you to do that. Type that in. CCLFPY. Is it caps lock on or something? Am I tripping? This is so crazy. Nerd Corner podcast, man. I'm here with Angel Tovar. If y'all are just checking in, comic book creator out of the A31, specifically Watsonville, California. It is? That's so dumb. If it's 2023 and you guys still got cap sensitive freaking password guardian, is stupid. Where we at? If I could bring it up now. Looking for it was a we looked on page 3. There we go. Got down on. You could lower the Bluetooth volume right there.
This one?
Mm-hmm. So,
all right. So
this is.
That's the music. That's the music. It's super loud.
That's lit.
So you scroll on your phone.
So when you're scrolling on your phone, this music plays in the background.
Exactly. Yeah. And I had there's this musician who created that from scratch.
So he created the music.
Yeah,
for
I told him.
Scratch.
Yeah. I told him I got to look up his
score.
Info. I got to look him up because he's so good. So I told him what kind of vibe I'm looking for. I kind of gave him some examples. And this is what he shot me some different sounds. I'm like, nah, bro, it's got to be more bass. Give me more bass, you know? It's a heist. Like, give me more of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is all...
This is lit, bro.
Yeah. And as you're going, you're just scrolling. And obviously, you don't know what's coming next. You know, like a page you don't open up otherwise. And what's cool is, and this is what I really like about Webtoon. Music and scrolling is really good. But let me try to fast forward it.
Yeah, because this must be easy on the phone.
Yeah.
Have you seen the because Marvel went and put all of their comics online?
Yeah, but it's
very
not
similar.
Yeah, but it's like they put the whole page there, which is
it's like a whole panel,
like
but it's
separate them. You know what I mean?
But you're talking about like separate the panels.
Yes. Yeah. And then you zoom in on some panels that don't mean much, and then some bigger panels that are like what they call a splash page. Okay, so the best feature for a creator, in my opinion. Okay, so this is the music by Sun Warper. So check him out; he's really good.
Sun Warper, not Sun Warper.
Yeah. So the comments are so helpful. Like, oh, I didn't like this, or wait, I didn't get this part.
Feedback.
Yeah. In the Canvas section, it helped out a lot. Canvas meaning where anybody can post. That was very helpful. That really helped out a lot. So,
that's good because really you're doing the art because you like it. You know what I mean? But end of the day, it's still for the people, and you want to make sure the people are pleased. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got to make it entertaining, obviously, because if they don't get something, which has happened, they don't understand, like, wait, what's going on here? I go, oh, shit, let me go back and re-edit it or talk to my editor and say, hey, do you think this makes sense or it doesn't? That's another the valuable thing.
So after you make it, you can still go back
in there.
And edit
you could hit it up.
Re-upload panels. And
They'd rather you not, but it feels like you could do it. I could ask them, hey, can you redo
Kanye and Drake do it with music? You could do it with comic books.
They re-edited it or what?
Yeah, that was like a big thing. Like Kanye put out The Life of Pablo, and if you listen to The Life of Pablo when it first dropped versus like 6 weeks after it dropped,
what? I didn't know
different verses, different versions, different mixes, different order.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I remember listening to Life of Pablo, I was like, yeah. And then I listened to it strong for like 2 months, and then I was like, yo, where did this song go? Or I'd be like, wait, bro, am I tripping?
Yeah.
And then you go and he was just never happy, and instead of missing the release date, he released it, got feedback, and he would switch things around. You know
see, that's valuable. That's valuable. I mean, regardless, you're never going to be happy with your work. Never. I mean, George Lucas has done this, where he releases and he changes.
The king of that.
And then he adds like 3D stuff.
He says it'll never be finished.
No, yeah, and I totally get it. I remember when I was a kid, I didn't get it. I'm like, why are you adding new stuff? It was cool before, but as an artist, and you're making it, you're always thinking like, oh man, I could have totally added something else, or I had something before and that was that was cheesy, So I totally get where Kanye probably did that, and then Lucas probably definitely did that.
Yeah.
He released it like 3 or 4 times as his series and stuff like that, which, I mean, it happens as a creator. So
this is some of your other art right here.
Yeah.
Could you explain what some of these images is?
Let me click on. Okay, so this one was. This is when it was on Canvas, when anybody could read. I don't know if. Okay, it used to be black and white. I didn't know how to color.
The beginning of your
It was when I used to post it on that section where everyone could post. It was black and white. I didn't add any color because I didn't know how to color. So I just
use Procreate on this.
No, Clip Studio Pro is what it's called.
Is it made just for
a comic book artist, manga artist, anime artist,
And you do it on an iPad?
No, I have my own. It's called a Wacom. It's a drawing tablet.
Oh, I know what that is.
Yeah. So
I was gonna get that prior to getting my iPad and learning Procreate.
Yeah. So I mean, Procreate's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good, and iPads are good too. If you're starting off, but if you're gonna take it, like anybody out there who's gonna take this seriously, invest in yourself. And like your setup, little by little, you start setting up. You're investing in your own self. So if you have that money as you're going along, then invest in a big Cintiq or even a small one. I started off with a small one, and as you're making money, kind of bring that money back in. Maybe make your computer a lot faster and all that. One of the things that I want to talk about. Okay, is this the webtoon? Okay. So a lot of these backgrounds are 3D. So like that car is 3D. That bridge is 3D, right? And that helps me out in a lot. So I obviously.
What do you mean 3D? Like
There's this program called SketchUp, and it's like 3D. It's I don't know if you could tell.
Like 2D but 3D or.
No, it's like 3D software.
Because it looks 2D.
That's the point. I try to make it look 2D. I mean, I draw kind of over it, and
like that explosion looks like it might have been.
I drew.
It looks 2D.
No, I drew the explosion. All the trains and stuff like that. I moved them around to make them look like, like they exploded. But there's this program called SketchUp, and a lot of those you could move around, and they're free. So, again, that's gonna take up a lot of your computer. So you gotta have like a really hefty computer if you're gonna be doing 3D. You can't be doing that with your iPad.
Nah.
Even though like there's some newer iPads that are pretty
this is
crazy,
as
right?
strong as it gets.
Yeah.
This is the bad boy, the big bad boy, 12-point-something inch.
Yeah. So those might be able to do it. But
I do have some animation software, like what I used to make our backgrounds and stuff. It's called Sonata. It's like a 3D animation software, but just
and it runs it pretty good.
Yeah.
There you go. So,
but it's not like nothing like advanced like this at all. Like
Yeah.
Close. And this will also run that. There's that app that you can add to Procreate, and then you go in. You can literally go in, and if you have a cloud, you could go in and add like sparkles in the cloud and different. It's X, Y, Z axis.
And Procreate is like you pay once, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Clip Studio or not, dude?
It's a monthly.
Yeah.
I do that with.
It wasn't before.
Well, I do that with Photoshop.
Photoshop is strong, though.
Yeah. But
Photoshop is a strong program. But like, Photoshop is more towards photos and videos too.
Well, it has everything though.
It does.
3D animation studio and all that. But I mean, obviously, like, I have homies who do 3D animation too. Like, one of my homies works for Pixar or worked for Pixar in the past, and he does incredible 3D animation. Shout out my homie Desmond, the designer, Desmond Holt. He is like, here, maybe I can
go for it. That's something that I want to get into as well, is learn how to 3D. There's this program called Blender, and I kind of want to learn that. But it takes a lot of patience.
There's my dog right here.
Whoa. That's amazing.
Shout out my boy Desmond.
That's 3D printing, right?
Yeah, that's his 3D printer, but he does it all.
Like the hand? Oh, the Santa Cruz hand?
Yeah. You know what I mean? He's worked for Pixar. He does everything, bro. Fully animate. You know what I mean? Motion graphics, all that.
That's one of the fields I want to learn, dude. Is how to 3D like motion and move stuff around in there. But it's super. It takes a long time to learn, and
it's a lot. Like his computer is insane.
You gotta have a crazy computer, man.
His computer's insane, and some of this shit takes forever to render, bro.
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying. Like
time is forever, bro.
With my webtoons, just for SketchUp, it took for a bit for it to render. But then again, I had a slower computer, and the money that I made with webtoons, I invested in, and I bought myself. Well, I built my own computer. From scratch,
I'm considering doing that for this, because I also want to start streaming me playing video games. And
and that for the FPS, and you definitely want to have a really.
So that's where I'm going with it. Yeah. Like,
what's cool is if you build your own computer, you could always start moving parts out that are like not good anymore after 5
swapping
years.
It out,
Which is what I've done. I've gotten a better graphics card. Because my last one was not cutting it.
Those are all 3D prints he's done.
Nice.
But Yeah, I mean, I could go off.
I'm gonna hit him up.
He's worked for all these guys. I'll put you in contact with him.
I want that hand, dude.
He'll do it. He'll sell it to you. Bro. He's a really good dude, bro. He's really, really good dude.
I used to skateboard, so like the Santa Cruz hand and all that is pretty sick.
Yeah, he's worked for all these people.
Nike and all that. Hell yeah. Freelance.
Yes.
Yeah, but 3D has helped me a lot. So yeah, that's how it looked like before. It was black and white. Let me see. Then I started learning how to color because they wanted me, when I moved over to Webtoons, when they gave me that contract, it's like, no, it has to be in color. And I'm like, fuck. So I was like, okay, let me learn how to color. And I started how to color like right off the bat. I mean, I did some coloring pieces here and there, but that took me forever to learn how to like color. All this other work was not me coloring. I did only what they call it, the interiors. So I only did black and white, and then somebody else comes in with the colors.
You ever seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tracer, man.
The inker. Yeah.
You just tracer, man.
Yeah, because they used to. I mean, it used to be where artists only drew the pencils, and then inker would come over with inks, and they would kind of like make it better.
Trace around the lines, man.
Yeah, and I mean that job is gone, pretty much gone now. Everything's all digital now. So this is the comic that actually no, this one, I think this is the first comic I did for them, Fathom, and I think I did some. This is the cover I did for them, and I did some interiors, but not the whole comic. I only did like maybe 4 pages or something like that to help out the other artists, and then they gave me this title, which is called Bubblegum, and
that looks dope.
Yeah. So Mark Roslin, shout out to him. He's the writer. He's the one who kind of told me what books to read if I want to be a writer. So he's been nothing but like sweet to me, and he's been a great guy. So I hope he continues his writing. Here's some of the, again, here's my inks,
sick, bro.
And those are the colors. But you see all the detail on this and stuff like that.
That's incredible, bro.
I can't really do that with Webtoon because they gave me a month to like draw 20 pages. Webtoon wants you in a week, so like output is like, let's go.
Dang.
Yeah. So that's why I use 3D for the background and stuff, so I could like launch it out.
Do you think it would be easier to get like a collective team together to knock something out, or is that something that ever interested you?
Japan does that, and Korea does that. Webtoons is actually a Korean company, and they have a team. They have like the person who draws it, and there's the background artist, and then there's like a letterer or whatever. But here in America is you got to do it. You know what I mean? You yourself, you got to do everything. So everything except for the music, thankfully. But there's some creators who do their own music too.
And this is like mind blowing. This is great.
Yeah. Here's another one. Can I make it bigger? Oh yeah, right here. I think. Yeah, so all this, I wouldn't be able to do it in Webtoons because it'd take me way too long. And this company's called Aspen, and they're a small company, but they're great. And here's another cover. Oh, this is their Arizona one. Okay, so this one, they flew me out to Arizona to the Comic-Con over there, Phoenix Con, and they treated me like a rock star, man. And they're like a small company, bro. Like you probably never heard of it, but they really, try to take care of their artists and stuff like that. So,
have you done Nerdville yet?
No.
Bro,
dude, there's so many cons now.
My homies, bro. My homie Gino runs that.
Well, maybe in the future.
It's in Watsonville.
Yeah.
Wait,
in Watsonville?
Yeah.
Where?
They have it at the Watsonville High now.
What?
I'm gonna put you in contact with Gino because you should definitely be doing your own panel there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely put you in contact with him because they literally always get like, they had a dude who played Boba Fett. They had the dudes from
in Watsonville.
Yeah, they had the dudes, the Killer Clowns of Outer Space. The first one was all based on that. And
they had Watsonville, right?
Yeah, they had the brothers. They had the brothers come to Watsonville, and they did a whole panel on Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh,
bro. I definitely need to put you in contact with my homie Gino And
I didn't know that had a
yeah,
con.
no.
It seems like everyone has a con now.
It's called Nerdville.
Yeah.
It's called Nerdville.
Okay,
So what was like what? So your first influences were obviously anime.
Yeah, when I was a kid, they used to play Dragon Ball on TV and stuff like that, and then Dragon Ball Z came out on Cartoon Network. That was the first inspiration, and then traditional comics with like the '90s comics, like the Sabretooth that you're showing me. Right. That's what inspired me too. So I kind of meshed those two together, and you kind of get my style or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite like comic book in all time?
Yeah.
If you can say Black Horse Comics, any Spawn, like all that.
So the Batman that you know now is thanks to this artist and writer whose name is called Frank Miller. It's called.
I've heard his name.
Yeah, it's called Batman. I don't know. It's called Dark Knight Returns. That book, dude. Holy
That's
smokes.
what all the new movies with
based off of his style.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Christian Bale. Those were all based off of his.
Yeah.
Because those were like graphic novels, weren't they?
Yep. They were like trade paperback. They were thick.
Yeah.
And they were easy to like read. So I read that and I was like, oh man, comics
those
are this good? Like, yeah. And then I read same creator. He did Sin City.
He's hard. Yeah. That's where I remember.
Yeah. So he did that, and
I love that fucking movie, bro. Just
the
because of the style, like stylistically, it was like
his art is so good. It's so just. It's not nothing like you ever seen. It's kind of like his own thing, and I think that's what inspired me to write too. It's like, okay, this guy can do it. Like, let me give it a shot. You know.
Do you mess with like my favorite Spider-Man movies that have dropped in the last few years have been Enter the Spider-Verse.
Oh, the animation.
You know what I mean? The whole animation.
Yeah.
Like that's some of the best Spider-Man content that we've gotten since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole Miles Morales story, the whole idea of all these Spider-Man. You know that scene have you seen the movie?
Not the newest one. I saw the first one.
Well, the newest one, they have this big chase scene where every Spider-Man is chasing Miles Morales through this whole city that's in based in this. It's like the headquarters for all the Spider-Man to go.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And they had this whole chase scene. Spoiler alert. They had this whole chase scene where all the Spider-Men are chasing Miles Morales, and that shit took 4 years to do.
Yeah.
And it was like.
Wait, for the newest one? The one that came out?
Yeah, it took like 4 years just to do that chase scene.
No way.
Yeah, bro. Like I was reading this thing about it, and I'm like, dude, and it makes so much sense. They had all these like epic little like things and epic little moments in that chase scene, and a lot of little details, and like you see every single Spider-Man, every single one, like the anime one, all these Spider-Man, like is lit, bro.
Yeah.
And I definitely like suggest you. Well, you're an animator, so I definitely suggest you check that out because I think that's like one of the dopest. That's like all the new Spider-Man content is some of the dopest shit ever.
First of all, that style, it's thanks to this guy called Alberto. Let me look him up. I was wondering if you could bring him up because if you see him, you're gonna be like, oh my god! Like that style doesn't compare to his original work. So he did the first style here. Let me wait.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Look. Go to the images, maybe. Yeah. He's the one who created that style. So he got brought on by Sony before the first one, before the first Spider-Man. Okay, you see that style?
Yeah, that's literally it.
That's thanks to him. And then they fired him on the first movie. Yeah, that sucks. All the news is on his Instagram, and he's a freaking phenomenal artist.
And they just took his
style, his story, it kind of his outline. They didn't really take his story. He explained it on his Instagram and on his website, and oh man, it sucks that he didn't really get the credit that like he should have. But everyone's trying to go off that style now, like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like
right,
cartoon,
the same thing.
It's starting to go off of that style.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, like
I thought it was the same guy that did it.
Yeah, no. He would have posted it. I think right now he's working for Netflix, and he's doing some. I don't know if you heard of it. Love, Death, and Robots. It's called on Netflix, and he's doing like a little animation with them.
Oh, lit.
Yeah, I mean, It sucks
Do you
that he
think
didn't
like
get
things
credit.
like webtoons is gonna change the way we take content, like comic books and all that?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they should. I feel like
I said, like Marvel has already got all their comics on an app.
Yeah, but it's not like that though. You know what I mean? The thing about Marvel and DC is that they're still so hung up with like paper.
Right.
You know what I mean? It should be on. They should have their own. Both of them should have a website just like that you read. Because the kids nowadays, they're not going to go to the store and stuff like that. Whatever's convenient for them, scrolling on their phone, they're already on their phone. So if they like make a website like that for free, then I feel like that would help them out and stuff like that.
I feel like there's this whole generation of douchebaggery that's like fake in love with like old retro shit. So that's why they're like, people are buying more vinyl records. You know, vinyl records are more popular than now ever.
Yeah. But it's not like what it used to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So
it's more like of a
cliche. I mean, cliche. Like a little niche. Like
like vintage. Like I want to be. I'm a douchebag. Like.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be the same for comics. You're gonna have like small people that always buy it, and majority of the people just wanna read it on their phones, whatever's convenient for them, and stuff like that.
My cousin Rice. First off, we've got both of our mods. Shout out to Zach, aka Blanco Smoke. He said, "Oh man, we're talking about my fitness journey." He said, "I like homie's art," and then our mod Rice said, "LD and R is sick, great series." I think that's what you're talking about.
What's that?
What's the show that you just said?
Which one?
Low something in rock or
LTVR.
No. You just said what show on Netflix?
Oh, Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah, that's LDR. He said LD and R is sick. Great series.
Yeah. So it's a bunch of artists that. Oh, the Aeon Flux guy that I was talking about is on there too. It's like it's like heavy metal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like heavy metal.
It's crazy because my cousin Rice was the dude who put first time I ever seen heavy metal, I seen some animated tits. It was because of my cousin Rice. Mom, it was Rice to show me, Mom. He showed me the animated tits.
Wasn't that wild when you were watching? You're like, what? You're not supposed to like animate, fucking tits and shit.
How is this giving me a boner? This is weird.
I feel weird about this. What's going on?
These anime titties should not be giving me a boner.
But you haven't seen Love, Death, and Robots? I'm surprised.
No.
Like, whoa, crazy.
I wasn't into. It was forced on me. I wasn't sitting. I was just a little kid. I was like, oh, look, cool, like animated titties, cool.
It's like the same concept where it's a bunch of different little stories made by different creators and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I wonder if his how do I go back? Is it right here?
Yeah, snitches get stitches. That's hilarious.
No, hold on. How do I go back to the artist, like the Google search? Yeah, there you go. Okay. His is Love, Death, and Robots. Where is it? He's so good. Holy smokes. You could already see like his...
Yeah, he has a very unique style, bro.
Yeah, it's very like graffiti, kind of modernish kind of style.
Yeah.
I don't see it. Maybe because I mean, he's won awards, so that's good for him. Good.
You could just put it right there. Put Love, Death, Robots in the search bar.
Okay, there it is, right there. That's his own series. It's his own take on Love, Death, and Robots. He had another one. I haven't seen the new one, but it's like a short. It's very short, but.
So it's just a bunch of shorts?
A bunch of shorts, but made by different creators. Maybe 30 minutes long or less than that. Maybe 25 minutes long. But yeah, they're like little shorts and stuff like that. And by different creators. Yeah, this one was more like a suspenseful one. So I recommend watching that out and checking his stuff out. He's really good. And if you if you love Spider-Verse, you're gonna love his style. Because that's what they bit off of.
Yeah, that's crazy. That sucks.
Yeah.
So back to your comic, The Eagle and the Snake. What's the synopsis? Like, what's The Eagle and the Snake about?
So it's based off of like true crime events. What really sparked it was like, in Mexico, they kind of bribe and, kind of extort people with small businesses and stuff like that. And if they can't pay like a certain amount of money, they kind of have them, kind of get that money from them somewhere, somehow. it's better for them to get that money from them like that than killing them off. Because if they kill off and they still owe them that money, they don't make that money. So I remember there was this story about this guy who robbed 3 banks in order for him to pay off the cartel. And I was like, oh shit, what if I did something like that? But it was a group of 5 people who don't know each other, and they all have to they all have their own debts, and they got to pay it back, certain ways. Now you could say, okay, well, what if he just goes to the cops? Well, what if they have his brother or his family? Because they kind of do that. They kidnap your people's family and stuff like that. So the story is, he needs to pay a certain amount that his dad owed them, like millions, and if he doesn't, they have his brother, and they'll kill him off and stuff like that.
So this is based in Mexico.
No, it's based in Watsonville. So I made it here.
Yeah. I see the thing that says city of Watsonville.
Yeah. I mean,
it was on Main Street. It was that old bank. That
yeah. You remember that?
I get the right. It was right there by Jalisco's.
But it's not really based off of Watsonville, because I made it look kind of like Chicago-ish and stuff like that. I just used some of the scenes and stuff like that to kind of give an homage to Watsonville, and it's based off of the city of Watsonville, and it's kind of a mixture of Chicago. It's like Gotham City when the comic books. Right. They use New York, Chicago, and different areas. So he needs to pay off that money, and in the meanwhile, he meets this one girl named Olivia, who's spoiled and rotten, and he's just annoying to her. But somehow he bumps into her, and then she happens to be part of it as well, but she didn't know about it. She was like super rich, super all that, but she didn't know that her money came from drug money. So, and they kill off her dad, and so now she needs to work with Abel, the main character, and they both need to take down the cartel boss or whatever before they pretty much get killed off.
Are the main characters Chicano?
The Abel is Chicano. Olivia is Ukrainian American.
Fire.
It's funny because I made her Ukrainian and the whole Russian thing before it happened, dude. Because I did that again. It was in 2016, I want to say, and I remember because I do studies. I study. I read articles and stuff like that. And I remember they were
put in pop culture and like current events.
No, like actual news. Actual news. I was reading that Russia might invade Ukraine. This was in 2016, and I think they invaded Crimea or something like that at that time. So I'm like, okay, so it's not too far-fetched if I wrote that in. And then I remember it came out, and people were in the comments were like, "What the hell? Like, did he?"
Fire.
It's like, what the heck?
Fire.
Yeah. So then that's the story. It should be wrapping up soon. I think I'm almost done like drawing it completely, hopefully by December.
And you don't got to pay for this. People can just go to Webtoons and check it out.
You only pay if you want to read it ahead. So like
before the drop.
Yeah, it drops every week. And Webtoon drops 3 in advance if you want to. I think it's $1 if you want to read advance, or you just wait till next week. It drops every Sunday. So every Sunday, like at 6 p.m., it drops. And if you're like into it and then you want to read it ahead, you just pay $1 or you wait. And then, that's how they make their money. So,
have you considered doing like a hard copy version of this book? Can you publish a hard copy?
Or
do you got to go through Webtoons to do it, or how's that work?
I kind of have to go through Webtoons to do it, or I wait till the series is over, and then I got to wait 3 years, and then the like all the rights go back to me.
Well, that's cool. They give you back the rights.
Yeah, but I just gotta wait 3 years, bro. That's such a long time.
3 years is a long time,
but in the meantime,
this doesn't age though.
Yeah.
People are still reading comic books from the early '90s, and it's like, you know what I mean.
So I'm hoping. My plan is, in those 3 years, I work on it. I make it better. Like I was telling you, I want to read how to write books in Hollywood and all that stuff, and then redo it, and then kickstart it.
Fire.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Fire, man. That's sick, bro.
Yeah.
What? So right now, like, it's the one on the left. Yeah, that one's the coldest. Yeah. Right now, there's this whole DC universe. James Gunn doing DC. We got Kevin Feige doing Marvel, and then we've got Dave Filoni and Pablo Hidalgo doing Star Wars.
Yeah.
Would you ever be interested in working in like doing comics? Because they all release comics.
Yeah. I mean, it's all comes from comics, right? Working for Marvel and DC. I don't know, dude. Like when I was working for those indie publishers as just a penciler, it was cool, but like you get more satisfaction writing your own stuff, dude, because you're putting your emotions out there. It's kind of like
you're not being told, hey, draw Batman.
Yeah. And then this page, he's got to look like this, and then that page, you're like, oh, okay, I guess. It's more fun creating it and putting yourself in it, even putting friends in it. So I mean, maybe if the opportunity comes, but it's not like something that I'm looking forward to anymore. When I was younger, when I met the artist Jim Lee, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. But now that I've experimented with this, and I feel like this is what I wanted to do. So
comic books are important, bro. Like, because I'm like, I'm into fashion and stuff like that, and stuff like Akira, stuff like certain old like Batman and so even some Marvel comics really influence how people dress. Stylistic choices of color blocking and all that stuff. So
I feel like
it's got a big reach.
I feel like it's taken over. I remember when I was a kid, it wasn't. Nobody really knew about
Dragon Ball Z, Jujutsu. I see people just rocking stuff that so they look like that Kaizen or like they look like these different characters from anime. And I'm like, it's lit because a lot of the fashion is dope. Like, you know, Dragon Ball Z, a lot of the fashion. And I mean, really Akira, bro. Like the way that dude dresses, like really.
Oh,
you can see it.
The jacket.
You can see it. That
red
jacket, bro. That jacket. I've seen people bang.
I mean, that bike, the red bike.
The cover, insane. Bro. That covers.
Yeah,
fire,
where he's walking to his motorcycle.
Yeah, bro, that's fire. That's such a great.
Yeah.
Like,
I wanted to do that cover for my own comic, but like, I don't want to get like sued or anything. So I'm like, no, like, because I've seen other people like copy that cover because it's so iconic. It's insane. But like, comics has influenced everything. Now it's all over the movies. I feel like I don't know about you, but I feel like I've gotten kind of like superhero fatigued a little bit.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of every other.
You feel like that too, ever since the Infinity War.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like, I wasn't a fan of She-Hulk. You know, Loki kind of was like, like everyone says they like Loki, but I just stick to the Star Wars. I take a lot of the Star Wars content. Star Wars, like that's really.
How you like the new Star Wars stuff? You like it? Because I've
movies is okay, but I'm always gonna love Star Wars. Anything Star Wars, I'm excited about. But for me, anything that
what were your thoughts?
That Filoni has had a hand in, which is like Ahsoka is like.
That's his baby, no?
Yeah, and then Jon Favreau is the Mandalorian. So if we could just get. If we could just get Kathleen Kennedy to just step off and let Favreau and Filoni and Hidalgo handle that shit, then I think it'll be a lot better. But you know what I mean?
This is what I like about The Mandalorian, because that's what I wanted Boba Fett to be.
Yes.
I wanted to be that character. But
that's why they did it that way.
Yeah. But then they came out with Boba Fett, and it was kind of like, man, he was kind of just like overweight and just kind of
Yeah.
But Mandalorian, this is what's great about writers, is that if you do your homework, your research, you know how to like please the fans, okay? Because what they did is what they looked at what George Lucas was into and what inspired Star Wars. So they looked at a lot of like Western movies and all that. Instead of just copying what they usually do.
Samurai movies.
Yep. And they grabbed off of that, and it's like, okay, this is what inspired George Lucas. Let's throw it on in here, and you could feel that even with the music, and then you still feel, it feels like a Western.
What's his name? Zorgan. He has like a crazy name. He's like crazy Russian name. That dude. Oh no, he's like Swiss or Swedish.
From what?
The dude who did the all the scoring for the
it
wasn't John Williams. John Williams.
No. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I've seen like a video in the background with the flutes and all that.
Yeah, what's his name, bro?
And he did other stuff. No, he did some he's pretty good, like well-known composer.
Well, but the style is way different. It's not like classic Star Wars scoring.
But it gives you that kind of Western like feel to it. You know what I mean? And I feel like
Ludwig Göransson.
And what else has he done? Because I feel like I've known him before. Like I feel like I've heard him in like other movies. I want to say Black Panther.
Ludwig Göransson.
Because I remember searching him because I was listening to the score.
Creed 2. Oppenheimer.
Oh, Oppenheimer. He did Oppenheimer. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Interesting. Interesting. Mandalorian, Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, see? Yeah, that I remember.
Boba Fett, Bad Trip. Yeah, he's got a lot of bad.
Yeah.
He's a G, bro.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good. But like again, that's what makes that show great is because they went back to the source. They went back to what George Lucas was into as a kid, you know?
And they also had a variety of directors, and they each kind of did their own thing with the episodes.
Oh, yeah,
where you could see, like, the difference between a Deborah Cho episode versus...
a Robert Rodriguez.
Right. You could literally see the stylisticness of Robert Rodriguez in the episode. I was like, you know what I mean? But
I had a lot of hype for Robert Rodriguez, and I felt like he kind of, I don't know, he could have done better in my opinion.
That's probably was my least favorite episode.
I was looking,
and I was like, I was too. But I mean, like, how are you really?
But oh well.
I didn't like. I didn't like the freaking biker dudes.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, why are
they're Power Ranger bikes?
Freaking bikes pristine?
Yeah.
Like, they should be like messed up. It's
that's
grimy,
the number one rule.
Used, worn, old school, the long time ago, galaxy far, far away. Like, you guys been living in Tatooine. How are your bikes so nice?
The number one rule that George Lucas brought was it needs to look used, and it can't just look.
Gotta look like a long time ago.
It can't look like you just got it off the parking lot, you know?
Nah, those fools came straight off the Space Harley shop. Like,
yeah, like I remember a lot of space movies before George Lucas. Everything looked spotless, brand new, and like Space Odyssey 2021 or 2001, and then he came out and it looked all run down. Things are breaking and stuff like that. So I think that you notice like the bikes.
Yeah, that
Rodriguez does.
Big. It was so annoying.
And it stands out too because the colors are so bright.
Yes,
on those bikes.
It was so annoying to me, and I was like, Robert Rodriguez, you never should ever direct another freaking Star Wars anything.
I mean, to be honest, somebody should have told him that. You know, like, hey man, maybe we should.
That's what I'm like. How did Kevin Feige and Pablo Hidalgo be like, okay, yeah, go ahead, do that?
Yeah. Other people got it, like they okayed that too. So that's insane that got passed through because those stood out. They look more like Power Rangers than like bikes or Spy Kids because I think he did Spy Kids too.
It did look like a freaking little
like
kids
Star Wars.
Movie.
Yeah,
it looked like a little kids movie, right? Like that episode was very childish.
Yeah. So you're still like the newer Star Wars stuff, the new movies?
Yeah, just because I'm a Star Wars fan.
Okay.
Like, but do I have my gripes and complaints?
Yeah,
of course.
Oh.
But any Star Wars content is good content for me, just because it's like you can never really miss with me, but you could. I'm gonna have my complaints and be like, oh my god, and be like bitching about it.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, it's like it still pushed the story forward.
Yeah.
You have to live with it. There's all these rumors of people talking about they were gonna retcon it and that they were gonna retcon all those movies, but I'm like, let them live. Whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Is what it is.
Man, they did Skywalker dirty though, huh? No, that was not our Luke Skywalker. No way.
I mean, I don't know, like, I get it, but, it would have just been a little cool. Yeah, I mean, like, I get it, and I get the timing of it. It was like Star Wars comedy timing, but
bro, what happened?
Not with Luke, like,
no.
I mean, it's like whatever.
Luke was pure like good, I remember like.
He was like disgruntled. Like, I get it. Like, he's disgruntled. His homies died. All this tragic, traumatic shit happened. He just wants to be a hermit, live on this.
Which I get.
Live on Octu, like wherever. Go. All right, cool, bro. Like, cool, but
man, there's so much potential. I remember what was the first remake they made? Force Awakens.
Force Awakens, yeah. But then they also had they had Rogue One. They had
Rogue One was good.
Han Solo. I like Solo too. They just kind of slept on that.
It just no one really wanted it though.
No, it was because it was they review bombed it one.
Oh, did they?
Because there was all the mad angry fans like, we're gonna review bomb Solo, and and then they purposely like bombed it. You know what I mean? Which is just stupid. So if you're a fan, don't do stupid shit like that. If you're a fan, be a fucking fan. Like, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Take what you want. I feel and leave the rest alone. Like why mess it up for everybody else? You know what I mean? Because that was a good movie. Like, you know what I mean? Seeing Han Solo in his early days and all that shit. The casting choice for him was great. The story was really dope. Seeing freaking Childish Gambino like being, that was a good fire, casting. Bro. That was a good casting, bro.
Yeah.
Billy D. Williams, like, you know,
I didn't watch them after Force Awakens because I saw what they were doing. Like, oh, it's not for me anymore.
A lot of people said it was very Disney-fied.
Well, not only very Disney-fied, but you're doing the whole Death Star, what is it called?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
All over again? Like, oh my God,
another
again?
Planet, and that was a whole planet.
Death Star, sorry. So they did it all over again. Like, oh, what is this? The fourth time now?
And it was a crazy, stupid, corny name. It was like Star Killer Base. I don't like that.
Yeah. I don't know. It just felt like they were.
You know what I did like?
Again.
I liked the scene where that dude it was Hondo, not Hondo. God, bro, I can't think of it right now. But he's giving this whole speech. It's like a Hitler speech to all these freaking stormtroopers and everything.
Well, they're all based off of the stormtroopers are based off of like the Nazis, no?
Technically,
like the whole uniforms and stuff. Like you can see it, right?
Yeah.
And Darth Vader is pretty much a samurai. You can see like the helmet and
well, Ralph McQuarrie, the original concept art for Darth Vader, his helmet looked more like a samurai helmet.
Yeah. I mean, even the Jedis look like samurais with the
I love Ralph McQuarrie art, bro. I actually had some that I had on my walls and shit, and I actually want to invest in like buying a couple or blowing up a couple big pieces of Ralph McQuarrie art. Because to me, that shit's phenomenal. Sick, bro. Phenomenal. Like, that shit's sick.
And there were paintings, too. They weren't digital art.
Nah. It was, like, real, like, took real talent to do that shit.
I feel like, okay, you said that's your favorite scene in that Force Awakens, you said?
Right.
Mine was...
It was just, like, a very powerful scene. Because that dude studied Hitler speeches to get the inspiration for that video.
What I liked was
for that scene.
It's been a while since I've seen it because after I watched that, I haven't watched anything. What's the character's name? The girl's name?
Ray.
Okay, my favorite scene is where Ray puts on the jet fighter helmet. And she's just eating. And she's just looking into space.
She's inside of the AT-AT.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's looking into space, and she's just eating. And I'm like, that's fucking Star Wars right there.
Yeah.
Like her.
Yeah, that was sick.
That felt like Luke Skywalker.
That was sick.
Like Luke Skywalker looking into 2 moons. That's what it felt like.
It's like she was like a little kid. You see.
And you see the potential out there and everything like that.
Literally see the little kid, the little abandoned
kid of her. Yeah, and you felt sad and all that. And I remember watching that in theater. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be special, dude.
And the idea,
and then they fucking blew it.
And the idea, she's just waiting for her parents. She don't care about nothing. She's
like, oh my God, that scene was so good, dude. I remember, this is gonna be a good movie, and then it just went to shit. And then another fourth fucking Death Star, and you're like, ah, damn it. And then what's the Kylo Ken or what's his name?
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ken. That's a new one.
I like him because he's like a little bitch.
That's like a little whiny. That's why I didn't like him, because he was whining.
This kind of makes sense. It's like your uncle's Luke Skywalker, your dad's Han Solo, your mom's Leia. Like, you know what I mean? It kind of makes sense.
But I guess you can't,
a little bitch.
You can't do another Darth Vader or anything like that. But so I guess I don't know. He kind of
me off. It's like when a hardcore gangster has a baby, that baby's not gonna be hardcore like his dad. He's gonna be probably
spoiled kid.
He's gonna be like, well taken care of, kept out of trouble and all that stuff.
That's true.
So I kind of see like where he was going with it, but but the same thing like when Anakin in the prequels and he's like, I hate sand. It's so course and it's everywhere. I'm like, oh my God, this is cringe. Where they like George Lucas wasn't the best dialogue writer, man.
No. Dialogue's hard, bro. I should know. What's it called? The part that did this happen? Let me know if it did or didn't happen in Force Awakens. But Rey gets powers in the end. No, she gets the Force. No.
Yeah. Well, because if you watch the whole, spoiler alert, she ends up being like, you care to if it's advice?
No, go ahead.
She ends up being like born without it, like kind of like the Virgin Mary. She ends up being born like that, but she's Palpatine's granddaughter.
What? Oh shit! But they didn't show that at all in Force Awakens, right?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So when that scene came out of nowhere,
really quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It came out of nowhere. And
that's how they explain this, because she's like related to Palpatine, so of course she's gonna be super powerful.
Yeah. In writing, they call that a Deus Ex Machina, meaning that fucking came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? It's like, she has powers all of a sudden. There you go, fucking boom. And you're like, what the fuck? You never told me anything about powers, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like if they showed a little bit of that in the beginning, you're like, oh, okay, is she Luke Skywalker's daughter or not? You start asking questions like, oh shit, she has a little bit of the Force or something.
Yeah, the Palpatine thing too
came out of nowhere.
It was a little crazy.
It didn't help Disney that they had different writers. They didn't plan this out in the beginning.
They should have had one writer write the entire story. Yeah. And like how George Lucas did. He had 3 different he directed the first and the third, and then he had a second Spielberg, I think, right?
No, he had somebody else. He
directed.
Search it up.
Who directed?
Spielberg came by and helped him out, but he never took credit. I know it was somebody else, but then again, he wrote it.
Empire, like that. Irvin Kershner.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh.
Told you, bro. I thought you were a Star Wars fan, bro.
No, but I just knew Spielberg had something to do with it and shit. But
him and Lucas are like best friends and stuff. So he always stopped by and looked at him. Have you ever seen that video where George Lucas and Steven Spielberg and I think somebody else was in his house theater and they're looking at Phantom Menace? And he's like, fuck, I fucked this up. Have you seen? No, you haven't seen that? Okay, George Lucas is looking at it like, because of Jar Jar Binks. He's like, well, I can't take it on anymore.
And it's crazy because, you know, in The Mandalorian, in that storyline, they end up making the dude who played Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
He ends up playing the Jedi that ends up, not Jar Jar Binks though,
the actor.
The actor.
Yeah.
Because he was so hated for his Jar Jar Binks character that they ended up making him the Jedi that saves Grogu from the Jedi Temple.
But not Jar Jar Binks, just the actor.
He was a Jedi. But you know, not Jar Jar Binks. But the same actor though played a different Jedi that saved Grogu from Order 66.
Bro, if you bring in Jar Jar Binks now, I feel like people would be like, "Fuck yeah, let's go!" Like if he comes out of nowhere,
it's one of those things. It's like you either hate him or you love him because
I feel like it's been such a long time.
Ewoks too, though. A lot of people when the Jedi came out, they fucking hated the Ewoks because they're just trying to sell fucking merchandise.
Fuck yeah, trying to get that money, dude.
Yeah,
but if he came back now, I feel like people would forgive like how freaking annoying he was when it first came out.
Especially after he's the one who saved Grogu.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But if you bring him back, I feel like people would be like, fuck yeah, let's go. Are you kidding me? Let's do it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So, like I said, I haven't watched any, other than Force Awakens, I haven't watched anything. And Rogue One, I haven't watched anything else. Rogue One, Darth Vader at the end was insane. But one of the things that I hate is that
that was it. That was one of my top 5 fucking.
Dude, he does the Akira. Yeah, that was Akira. Remember? He throws him up and he like kind of bends the whole freaking wall. That was like Akira. It reminded me of. But the only thing that I kind of dislike about it is that when you watch the original ones, they fight like samurais, right? That was the rule. But now they're like fucking flinging it everywhere, fucking doing like a bunch of shit on it. And it sucked because I remember an interview with George Lucas. He's like, I could have them do that. This was before he did the newer ones. But he really liked the kind of the sword fighting, you know? That's why they were slower.
Medieval knight.
Yeah, katana, samurai kind of style to it.
That came in the prequels. That's how Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon were fighting. That was lit.
Yeah.
Even Yoda fight like that was
I enjoyed it. But then when you look at the original ones, it kind of makes them kind of boring, no?
Yeah.
Like you're just like, doom.
You're just the master of darkness.
Yeah. Yeah. And it kind of kills you like the first ones. But
it's like,
Yeah.
It was boring.
But it was still pretty good. I mean, like the new ones are still pretty good, but I feel like, oh man, I wish they could redo the older ones and
make them like jumping like Obi-Wan doing like
don't actually make them, but I just like it'd be interesting to see how that style would change Luke versus Darth Vader at the end.
Maybe in 20 years they'll start remaking the first.
No. That's just an idea. It's just like fucking. It'd be crazy. Like I would always think, what if they use that choreography back then, and how would that fight with Luke and Anakin look at the end? where he cuts his hand off. You know what I mean?
Lit.
But then you gotta also think that he was like half robot Vader, so he can't really move that much and shit. And then Luke wasn't that skilled back then too, right?
Right. He was just like he wasn't even technically a Jedi yet.
Yeah, he wasn't. He got training like super late.
Yeah, it wasn't until Yoda died that he
got the full training.
Blessing.
And even Yoda told him he's not a Jedi, right?
No, right before he died, he's like, you gotta go fight him in order to, you know what I'm saying?
To be a Jedi?
Yeah, he's like, you gotta go. That's like training.
His black belt.
Yeah, he's like, that's gonna complete your training. Okay. You gotta go and defeat Darth. He's like, but that's my dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You can't fuck my dad, bro. What, you want me to fuck him up?
Yeah, bro. That was lit.
Yeah, but like I said.
So what can people expect from Angel Tovar in the future?
All right, so I'm gonna finish this up, the Eagle and the Snake. That should end sometime next year, I feel like. And then I'm gonna take a year off and learn writing and really spend time on my next book, because I felt like I learned a lot, and I felt like I did a lot of mistakes on the Eagle and the Snake. So I feel like I'm gonna pitch Webtoon 2 different stories and see which one they go with. But again, you probably want to hear from me for a year and stuff like that.
Lit. Well, hopefully, I would love to have you back. I'd love to have you come in and be one of our hosts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like take the reins on this, because man, I definitely need some consistency on this show. I fucking love this show so much. But
it's fun talking to nerd pops and stuff, like nerdy stuff, because I don't have. Like I have Armando, that's it. That's the only guy.
He actually likes a lot of
but he's not into like Star Wars or Marvel as much, you know, like he doesn't know like it seems like you know a lot of behind the scenes and all that.
Yeah. I've been watching all the docs, everything, you know what I mean? But
yeah, like it's cool to talk about things that go behind things,
stuff that led up to
and why things suck or why don't, because there's a lot
things they weren't able to do, things
yeah. So I was wondering, before I wrap up, so I asked Reddit if they could ask me questions about it.
Yes.
And let me answer it, because I would hate to break a promise for them.
Nah, let's do it.
Okay. Let's see. Let me back up. All right, so they said favorite character to write. It's probably got to be Abel, the main character. Chicano, because it's like.
What's his last name?
Gomez.
Oh, Abel.
It's kind of like a bit of me, so it's kind of like, you know, I'm kind of using him to kind of say what I want, certain ways. I know you might not have one, but it never hurts to ask. Also, were you able to bring in all the ideas that you initially had for the story in the comic? Not really, no. I feel like I had to break it down, because Webtoon only gave me 2 yes and no, because in the first, yes, but then I came up with a lot of ideas, and so yes and no, kind of. I know some writers or comic artists will have starting ideas, but then either decide that it is too ambitious, or initial ideas for a different or more appealing set. So I would like to make actions a lot crazier, but like, since I have a deadline every week, I can only draw so much. So yes and no. So like, there's certain action scenes that I really want to like make it longer. Have you ever seen that movie Old Boy? Have you heard it? Okay, there's this fight scene in the movie Old Boy, and I kind of wanted to do something like that, where he goes out down a hallway, and he's just beating up a bunch of people down the hallway. And
like Darth Vader.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
that's epic.
It's something like that I wanted to do, but it would take me forever, man. I wanted to, like, you're looking down, so as you're scrolling, you see him fighting everyone.
Oh, okay,
but again, it would take too much. Let's see. What inspired you to make that story? I already told you. And then publishing, we already talked about that. Let me see.
Shout out to the Reddit, man. Shout out to the Reddit. Is this your own Reddit? Subreddit?
No, this
or
is
it like an animation Reddit?
This is Webtoons Reddit.
Oh, lit.
Yeah.
Lit.
So what are your thoughts on using AI and Webtoons in Webtoons? No, I feel like that's a cheapskate, and don't use it. Even to assist you, it feels kind of like.
It kind of shows that you lack creativity when you're an artist,
or that you don't really care about it. Like, you don't, like, for me, I have fun drawing, even though it's a pain in the ass. I still love fun, like
Because I don't even like doing it with like descriptions. I'll do it for titles because I'm like, give me a clickbait title for this. But I don't really like for like a description or like, you know what I mean? Like anything that takes real like
you love doing this, right? Like, so it feels like you're cut corners if you start using AI. So I wouldn't recommend it. And then we talked about, I think we talked about the, like what inspired it and all that stuff. So, yeah, thank you to everyone who asked those questions, guys.
Angel Tovar, man. Watsonville, Cali, original. I love it. I am proud of you.
Yeah.
Representing the 831 Big. This is amazing. You got an amazing body of work, bro. I'm excited to see what you got in the future. Where can people find you?
Okay, if you just Google Angel Tovar art, you'll see my Instagram, you'll see my webtoons, you'll see my art station, which is my portfolio. So you'll just Google Angel Tovar art. So you'll find me there.
Hell yeah, my bro. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Nerd Corner Podcast. Hopefully, I really want to make you a host on this show.
Yeah, we'll talk it.
So when you're done, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I got to finish this up first, and then maybe. Well, for sure, I was going to ask you. For sure, let me. It'd be awesome to talk about like the next series if it goes through.
Oh yeah. This is your platform. Let me know when, and we'll make it happen.
Hell yeah.
Anytime, bro. Anytime. I really appreciate your time and coming through, messing with me. Make sure you guys follow the Discord, the subreddit. Follow him, Angel Tovar Art, right? It's in the description. The Instagram's in the description. Links in the description. I'm gonna put all your links for your thing. I'll put that in the description. Follow the man. Treehouse Club Live. Follow Ghambit, Ghambit on Instagram.
Hit like and subscribe.
Click like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Let you know when we going live again. We'll be back live next Monday, and then we got Wednesday. Obviously, we do No Filter podcast. You know what I mean? I appreciate my bro for stopping by, blessing us with his presence, all his insight. This has been the Nerd Corner Podcast.
Peace out. Later, guys.
Big love, big vibes, big blessings. Be fucking great. Do great fucking shit, y'all. Have a good night.
Later.
Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Call Uber.
Yeah, there you go.